Cool, man. Are we looking at copy today?
We are actually. Now, this is kind of a funny situation. So I've started a business where I provide book descriptions for self-publishing fiction authors. Now, self-publishing fiction's been around for, I mean, the better part of a decade, I'd say, but it's kind of early as far as offering services in this space.
Okay.
So this is a real bat signal thing because there's only a few people who do this. So what I am going to do to help myself stand out more is something that no one else is doing. I'm going to be creating a YouTube channel where I will do reach content and look at book descriptions for, bulletproof classics that, no matter what I said about the traditional publisher's description, which could be crap, even if the book is legendary and we all know it. If I break down the description, I say that it sucks. It doesn't matter because the author won't even know I exist because it's Stephen King or somebody. But I can bring value to self-publishers so that they can see how this can work. It's a top of funnel idea to get them into the actual services I provide. But when you create a YouTube channel, it's a good idea to have a script for your trailer. Anyone who comes to YouTube, comes to your channel and is not already subscribed, they want you to have a trailer for to convince people to to sign up and to subscribe and catch all your videos. So I wrote a script using the 4x6.
Great.
I submitted it into the copy feedback, and I got feedback which I was shocked at because I used the 4x6, and
it had to be bulletproof.
4x6 is perfect. So what I learned was successfully using the 4x6 can be a matter of degrees. So I had two copy chief members who helped me rewrite the copy, but it took removing 5 parts of the 4x6 in order to get it right. So I got to give credit to Tien and to Rev for helping me see that less copy allowed the same great message to be able to come through. So
man, thank you for that lesson. That is so good. And such you're right. It's an interesting thing about the 4x6 because we think, thank you, formula, use it all, can't lose. That is an interesting thing about the 4x6. We don't always need them all.
Yeah.
And I did a really fun breakdown of that Harmon Brothers ad that they did remember that? And I, found two that weren't in the ad because it was like, a 2-minute ad. They couldn't be there, but they were strongly represented on the landing page. Right. Yes. And so great lesson. So if anybody's here, we have more than just members here. 4x6 is 4x6 copywriting system that basically helps you break down all the 10 parts of what needs to be in just about every ad, not every ad though. And, shows them to you, you move them around as needed. And we want to get them so tight. This is kind of like a really good, sometimes it serves your whole need, but sometimes it's just a great first draft that you could get them onto a 4x6 card, nice tight copy. So if you're interested in that, search 4x6 copywriting formula or just come join our community, copychief.com/join. All right.
Nobody writes alone. Okay.
That's it, baby. We don't do it alone. So it looks like, I don't know what I can tell you that Rev and Tian can't because they're both brilliant. But let's look at it. And maybe I'll have some other thoughts. So let me figure out how to stop sharing what I was sharing. Start sharing this instead.
The first draft is at the top, and then I made the corrections that they suggested, and that better version is at the bottom. So there's both versions on there.
Yeah, I saw that. Do you think it's valuable to look at the original?
I think it can be because that's where there's just a little bit. It's a little bit flabby, and and what's hilarious about that is that the parts that they suggested removing were what I believed was the most copy. It's like they said, why can't I live without it? Like that part can go. And I thought, holy crap, like that's that's where you kind of, help them see how valuable this is.
Yeah.
But then, to be honest, if they are solution aware, then I don't need to go into the problem a lot of,
Yeah.
why you need this kind of thing. So which most authors are. Marketing, copywriting, it's everything you said earlier. They can self-publishers are creative writers. They can write, but this is a different kind of writing. So they can write. They just don't know how to write this, but they know that they need this, but they don't know where to go. So I was selling too much the why can I live without it? And so Tien and Rev were right. Like, that can go.
Yeah.
These people are ready to hear what you have to say.
That's great. It reminds me, it's probably, I would love to update the 4x6 to add that layer on top of it, right? It's meant to be just like a simple, don't overthink it, but you're right. Like, awareness is always such a factor. So just maybe like sort of color coding that a little better so you can decide. Okay, cool. So by the way, Zach Evanesh is here. I don't know if he's still here, but what a legend. Great to see you, Zach, if you're still here. By the way, Zach is the guy who first basically introduced Chris Orzechowski to copywriting, because Zach is a fitness guy and Chris was like really into his stuff. And he's like, why do these emails like get me so excited? What kind of magic stuff is this guy writing? And he basically like reached out to Zach and asked him, and yeah, what's up, man? Yeah. And that's, so Zach is why we have Chris Orzechowski. So big nod of respect to you, Zach, in all kinds of ways. Great guy.
I gotta say this.
Yeah.
Chris Orzechowski, Mike Renard, and Rachel Mazza, their emails that sell by Chris, advertorial training by Rachel, and the Facebook ads training by Mike Renard are almost the secret to writing good book descriptions. So when I first joined Copy Chief, I gobbled all the training. And that was something that I found to be true when I started looking into why is it so hard for authors to write this stuff, because it's marketing. But those three are especially integral. Their trainings were integral to helping me understand what needs to be done in a book description to help authors actually sell these things and not just describe them.
I love it. Yeah, thanks for mentioning that. And those are not coincidentally the three experts we feature in our money skills training, because for two reasons. We call them money skills because they're the most in demand. So you could take any one of their trainings and start a business right now. But if you do take their trainings on the whole and combining, you could apply every one of them into Facebook, into email, into editorial, and all the copy you write. So love that. Killer. All right. So let's see the original. Do you want to read it or you want me to read it?
You do it. It would be great to hear you read it.
I'm Jason, and I'm a marketing copywriter who creates attention-grabbing book descriptions that tell shoppers looking for a good book, read this next. Read This Next with Jason is where I help, I love that title, where I help self-publishing fiction authors sell more books by giving them free advice about how to write better book descriptions. If you're an author, you're a reader, and you know how terrible some book descriptions can be. Even traditional publishers get it wrong. So what chance do you have to get it right for your books? If your current book descriptions don't have essential elements of marketing copywriting, you may be selling far fewer books than you should be. Interesting. All right, I have one note right there. But improving your book descriptions can help you sell many more copies of your books, even overnight. The problem with most book descriptions is that authors use them to describe their book. That's the last thing you want to do. You see, book descriptions are advertisements. Very good. You need to sell your book in your book description. It takes marketing copywriting to do it right. For proof of how badly fiction authors need this kind of help, Google the phrase "how to write a book description," and you'll get millions of results that tell you how to do it, and they all mention marketing copywriting. Very nice. But only Read This Next with Jason provides weekly in-depth insights from a marketing professional right here on YouTube. This is the only YouTube channel 100% dedicated to helping you improve your book description, so you improve your book sales. In each video, I'll critique book descriptions of the most popular books on the planet and give you free marketing copywriting tips you can use based on what they're doing right or wrong. I guarantee every video will help you improve your book descriptions to make more money. Plus, I'll answer your burning questions about fiction book descriptions in the comment sections. Click the subscribe below so you don't miss future videos. Stop describing your book. Start selling it. Read this next with Jason. We'll show you how. Really great, man. I want to also point out, and we love to see we'll look at the edited version. That's essentially also the 60-second sales hook, right? All those elements are in there as well. And it's a great way to do, like if you write your 4x6 first, pumping out a 60-second sales hook is super easy because you already know everything you need to say, except maybe you need to like get a little creative with the discovery part if you're going to name it, right? But okay, cool. So I want to make sure I saw Rev compliment. So this is the most recent version, right? Okay, so now this is the script. So everybody knows this is the YouTube trailer. You come to Jason's channel. You go, what's this all about? Jason comes on and says, stop describing your book, start selling it. Welcome to Sell Your Story. I'm Jason, and I'm a marketing copywriter who creates attention-grabbing book descriptions for self-published fiction authors. This is the only YouTube channel 100% dedicated to helping you improve your book descriptions so you improve your book sales. In each video, I'll critique book descriptions of the most popular books on the planet and give you free marketing copywriting tips you can use based on what they're doing right or wrong. I guarantee every video can help you improve your book descriptions to make more money. Plus, I'll answer your burning questions about fiction book descriptions in the comment section. Click the subscribe button below so you don't miss future videos. Stop describing your book. Start selling it. Sell Your Story. We'll show you how. Very cool. So we changed the title.
Yes.
To read this next, to start, Sell Your Story. I like it. I think that's a smart move. It's much more to the point of the result they want. You know, it's nice to have somebody want to read your book next, but that doesn't promise they will, right? Selling a book is selling a book. Cool. And I like that you defined the promise of what they're going to get. You're going to take famous books and give them example. It kind of gives them something to look forward to. What I also love about that is it creates this mechanism that does two things. One thing I like to call makes the dinner table. You're making them smarter by showing them. So now they can be with their friend at the bookstore and pick up any book and go, here's a better description for this book. And people go, oh my God, how do you know that? Right. And it gives it gives them this radar now to apply your principles to how they do that. So having said all that, Jason, I would say the next thing for you is like, do you have a mechanism for this, like that you can sort of name and claim for the elements that need to be in a book description, that basically your 4x6 of how to write a book description?
Yes, because one of the things that I'll be doing is offering consultations, and I do have a mechanism that helps me to it creates the nugget, which you can expand on. It's the nucleus. If you have this, then you can actually create a description which you can write any different kinds of way. It works for all genres. It works for every kind of genre in fiction. And so if you have this, then that will allow you to do to write a description and actually kind of fudge a lot of the other parts. But if you have this one particular thing, you'll be all right. And so it's the organizing principle around which a great book description can be written. So yes, I do have that. Yeah.
Fantastic. Smart. And so I would put that out as clearly and possible, like give them the framework. Again, the reason 60-second sales worked like it did is because it was so usable. Like people would, essentially do what you're doing here. I was like, talk about why we suck at this, why it's hard, why we overthink it, and say, here's like a Mad Lib you can fill in and tell your story, and you just instinctively start doing it. And so if the great now exchange here, you probably know this, is like, hey, I want to give this to you for free. Go download it. And I want to see how you do. Turn it into me, because you're the only single person in the world, Jason, who can tell them they did it right or wrong, because you invented the formula.
Yes. Yeah. Good. I love it.
Yeah. And so that's where, and what's cool about that is when you have that dialogue going back and forth, that's all your future content. You'll never, you know what I mean? You could do little case study videos, and it just creates this whole new dynamic to it. That's exactly why we're sitting here talking today. It was like that seed of 60-second sales hook that inspired me to start the forum so I could teach it to everybody. And 7 years later, it's nuts. So it's exciting that you've landed on this, man. And by the way, like, bravo for niching down this far. It just goes to show, like, when you give yourself permission to niche down this far, it makes it more interesting. It's easier for most artists to, the the turtle contest. It's like, we're all drawing the same turtle, but somebody's going to win them prize. Like, give us parameters to work within. And that's when it's easier to get creative. So you've done that for yourself. And now you're having conversations that are going to instruct whatever you create next.
I started when I finished Escape Velocity. I wanted to go into Facebook ads, and long story short, that led to this. An author I was doing the ad for said, that description was really good, and there's a desperate need for that kind of thing. And I said, Did you say desperate need? So, you follow the path, you do the research, you go, I get why, and I see I can help.
It's great. I love it, man. Such a great story.